Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom. This is the brother Irom from the James Jamaica camp. Coming with another lesson. This lesson was actually building up for a while. The first thing that inspired this was based off an anime I was watching. I kind of watch a lot of animes, and it's the anime is called My Hero Academia, and what I was actually throughout there's this set theme, recurring theme throughout the anime of zeal and surpassing your limit, and growing to be the best that you can be, being reaching towards your goal, in that everyone is trying to be the number one hero. For us, we know that we are trying to give all diligence to make our calling and election sure, and there's a lot of times where the particular group, the main group of the whole series or story, they one recurring theme as well with them was that they kept, because they kept getting in bad situations, they tend to grow faster than the average person, or the rest of the 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 rest of the people within their rank, or within their caliber, and put it that way, or within their class. They were excelling faster, they because of the experiences they were having. You have other classes that would actually develop the same amount of strength, but it would take them a longer time period to get there, but they were growing because of their experiences, and but the thing about it is, in order for them, each experience that they had, was an experience that brought them to their limit, and it actually, it tested them, it highlighted their weaknesses, and Salakia, and as they overcame their weaknesses, they would or as they would make it through, or they would persevere, it would highlight their weaknesses, and then they'll know what they need to work on next. And as they overcame that, then there was another one, and it just brought with parables with the truth, and renewing the new man day by day. And then I saw the video that Apostle Gabar did last night, in regards to experience, and it really he was telling about some experiences that he went through, and he quoted the scripture in Hebrews, which I'm going to get very shortly as well, of how these experiences that they have had, he said nothing beats experience. You have being in this truth, and just learning the scriptures is good, but there's a next aspect of applying them, and also even studying the scriptures. If you have someone that's more experienced in studying the scriptures than you are, then obviously they will know more. And if you have someone in this in the spirit, that is experienced in studying the scriptures, as well as more experienced in applying the scriptures, then that will help you to that will help them grow more, right? So I'm saying all of this towards the conclusion of this, that we need experience, and this this one video a day, spirit, it will really help. Also the brother Awar from the Mississippi camp, he was going into a lesson about using our afflictions and the curses to make ourselves a better person. He stated that even though we'll still make mistake, you're still better today than you were yesterday, or tomorrow you'll be more better than you are today, regardless of if you're making mistakes tomorrow. That steady progression. And he was going in the fact that these chastening and these things that we go through really help. We can use them to our advantage to build our character, right? Now, sorry for being so long-winded. but I'm going to bring out the first precept, and this is from the book of James, chapter 1, verse 2. It says, "My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations." So we're going to look up the word temptations. It's actually count it joy, because really it is to our benefits. You know, when we the fact that you have to get yourself in a mind frame, or get yourself in a position where you are able to do a video a day, it means that you're challenging your current. If you can't do it at this time, it means that you have a weakness. So right away, that challenge is highlighting that weakness, and now you have to push beyond what you can do now, and get things in order so that you can do that, right? So let's look up the word temptations, right? It says an experiment, an attempt, a trial, proving, right? And then I'm going to go down to the fourth definition. It says adversity, affliction, trouble sent by God and serving to test or prove one's character, faith, holiness, right? So that is it. So when this new standard that is being pushed to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, I truly believe that this is a test, for it to be on that level where a video a day, it's gonna test. Firstly, it's gonna test us. It's gonna test to see if we really are for Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Do we love the Lord like we say we do, right? And even with 3 videos a week thing, Amin got angry over that, and separated because of that, when really there are many benefits to doing a video a day, right? Now, first, as we say, this will test to see how strong your faith is. This will test to see if you really want this salvation. This will test to say, all right, I can't do this, then that means that I'm in a weak state and I need to up my game. So that's the first benefit. Now, secondly, for me, I like to plan my lessons. Therefore, when seeing that I have to do a video a day, it means that I have to plan, I have to study, I have to study to do my lessons, and then it will help me to know what I know from what I don't know. And what I don't know, then I can get clarity on it so that I can grow in knowledge. And then once I grow in knowledge, whenever the Most High send particular situations or afflictions, or put me in certain situations, I can pray for the Spirit to apply the knowledge that I've learned through doing these lessons, right? To help me to grow in regards to being a wise man, in regards to moving towards the man that I ought to be, moving on to perfection. Because after each thing, there's going to be a weakness. With each lesson, that means there's going to be something that I didn't know, or something that I need to improve upon. In action, it's going to show that there's certain things that I need to fix. And yes, we'll never get it 100% right, but as the brother said, as I quoted the brother, you'll be more better than tomorrow than you are today. So that's literally renewing the new man day by day, right? It says adversity, affliction, trouble sent by the Most High and serving to test or prove one's character, faith, and holiness. And also, these afflictions, some of them, as the brother was going into as well, is self-inflicted. And some of it is just punishment for things that we did, and the Lord is just showing us, it's getting straight to the point. He's just showing us that, hey, you shouldn't do this. Or we will say, hey, we'll never do this again based on this that we're going through, and it also gets our minds prepared for the days that are at hand, right? It's also going to show those who are on fire. It's going to show those who are not on fire. It's going to show those who are sincere and showing those who are not sincere. Those who are doing it for clout, or those who are doing it for their salvation. It's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. And then all those who fall in place, based off the Spirit, then that's how it's gonna be at the end of the day, is between you and the Lord. This definition of trial also reminds me of a football team. You have like 100 men try out, and then as the weeks go by, they cut those who don't fit the criteria, or those who can't keep up with the pace, right? So really, it's beneficial on all front. Also, there are times when you can't plan your lesson, so you're just gonna go ahead and go impromptu, or and do something. But as long as it's edifying, it's not a case where it has to be fully planned out. You can be impromptu, you can be in the spirit, but you just ensure that you stay to the scripture. And also, it will show whether or not you're proud, because if it I don't really like doing impromptus, or I don't really like just going. Sometimes I'll do it, but I don't do it often. But I stick to what I know and speak to what I know. And once you're doing that, and you're doing it from all through the spirit of edification, then you will be good, and all these things will be highlighted. And if you slip up in a video, or you slip up and you say something, or you mess up somewhere along the line, that's good, as long as it's not from a wicked standpoint, but as I get, once again, it exposes your weakness, right? So let me continue. Right, it says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Exactly. Because the key thing that the brother was hinting on, especially when it comes down to the afflictions, and the situations that you'll be in, it will see if you'll try to deliver yourself or bear it and call upon Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? And be patient, right? It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect, entire, wanting nothing. Right? And that is it. This is going to lead, this is definitely going to help, because it's going to build knowledge, it's going to build faith, it's not just any one thing. If you're looking at it, hey, a video a day, really, I got this, I got that, you're missing the whole point of it, yo. It's a way to keep you connected to the spirit, right? So let me go to the next precept. Wow. So lucky about that, Akim. Right, history. The next precept will be Hebrews chapter 5, verse 14. Right, and this is the precept that Apostle Gabar quoted. Right, it says, but strong meat, as he was going into, meat and milk are used to describe certain levels of knowledge in the truth, right? But strong meat belongeth to them that are full age, even those who by the reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. And that is the thing. Based on all the lessons that the apostles have done, and the studying that the apostles have done, based on all the situations that the Lord had brought them through, and the different trials that came upon them, throughout the years that they have overcome. Some they fail, some they overcome, but all the learning that they have been learning, definitely helps, yo. It definitely helps. They actually been exercising their spirit. They're been exercising and applying these scriptures. That's why sometimes you hear they say certain things, we right off the bat don't understand it, but based on their experience, they know what they're talking about. And it's all through the spirit. Right? So it says, strong meat belonging to them that are of full age, even those who by the reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. Right? Now I'm gonna go into the word exercise. Right? I'm gonna look up just a few of the words. Right? So the third definition says something performed or practiced in order to develop, improve, display a specific capability or skill. Right? So once again, even just doing a video a day, it increases your skill of edifying. It increases your skills of searching the scriptures. It increases your skill of speaking. It increases your skills of breaking down these words, and it equips you with knowledge for your practical aspect, for the practical aspects of the truth. It keeps you in the spirit, right? Now let me continue. It says to bring. Well, I'm gonna go after that. I'm read that one afterwards. It says the second definition down here. A says to use repeatedly in order to strengthen or develop. Right. So you doing this repeatedly. That is why the Lord repeatedly put us in situation. That's why what in James it says what count it all joy when thou art in diverse temptations, because the Lord is just putting you in these positions so you can keep exercising your spiritual muscle. Exercise have your mind exercising discerning both good and evil. Till you overcome those hurdles, you keeps on putting. So these bad situations are not to get you down, but they're actually here to build you, right? So it's repeated. As soon as you grow and you overcome one thing, it's a next, and it just keeps on coming. That's why Awar said you should see them, use them to your advantage, use them to learn, use them to build, use them to grow, because that's what they are for. It's not to tear you down in Babylon. It's just to expose your weakness so that you can improve on them, through the Spirit, right? Now, one of the definitions here, it says to make beer, and the word there is exert, right? Now, when you say exert, it says to put forth strength. The Lord will the situations. That's why it said the Lord give every man according to the measure, and it also say, "Oh, the Lord is not evil to tempt you above that which you are able to bear, but with the way will provide a way to escape." And that is it. The Lord knows just how much hell to put on you, to where if you don't exert yourself, you won't pass. So in every situation, that build up that you get when you're supposed to make certain decisions, or when you're supposed to get certain things done. The Lord put you in a situation where in order for you to pass or overcome, you have to get that feeling, you have to push past that, right? And it actually makes you bear, because guess what, based on how you react, or how you apply yourself to the situation, it shows whether or not you are actually strong or whether you're weak, or it shows whether you're weak, you're with it or you're not with it, whether you're on fire or whether you're not on fire. You get put in a situation where you do something fun or go do a lesson. In a situation, do what the scripture say, or do or go against what the scripture say. It's a constant thing, but as I say, it's also experience. And the more especially the more you pray, and the more you actually ask for the Spirit, and you overcome these hurdles one by one based on the Spirit that the Lord give you, the measure of Spirit, you will keep on growing. Right? It says to put oneself into action, or to tire in effort. Right? It says to bring to bear, especially with sustained effort or lasting effect. So you have to put out your all. You can't pull no punches. You have to give your all. You have to pick a side. You have to give your all or nothing. Because if you don't give your all, then you're gonna be nothing. Right? And that is the whole purpose of these trials that we go through. As I stated, I really believe that it is a test. It is a trial to do a video a week. But guess what? If you pray to the Lord and you keep building up, guess what? The Lord will actually, as it says, you're not tempted above that you are able to and that you're able to bear. There's some way you have to start problem solving and say, hey, what do I need to cut to make this good? What is you actually need to cut off something that's not beneficial to you to put the time into this now. And then the more you do that, and it starts fitting, then the Lord give you another challenge, and then another challenge. But you have to be in the Spirit to be able to move past this, right? So that's it for the word exercised, right? And then I'm going to give an example from the New Testament. The brother Awar also brought out the scripture, right? Now this is Deuteronomy chapter 8, and let me start at verse 2. It says, "And thou shalt remember all the way which Yahweh thy power led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no." And as men of the Lord, walking through this walking in this ministry, that's what it's all about. As the brother said, we are not in a spiritual wilderness, but we're in Babylon fighting for our salvation, walking towards the kingdom of heaven. That part that has the fire on one side and the water on the next, and so narrow that one man can go there at a time. You have to give it your all. You have to face your fears. You have to face your limitations. And to do that, you have to face those things and try to overcome them through faith, knowing that, when you make the right decision through the Spirit, and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you're going to be fine. No matter how dire it looks, or no matter how bleak it looks, or just knowing that even if it's a case that you're going to lose, technically lose, or quote unquote lose, in the end you're going to get a win, because the Lord knows why he's putting you through this. So the loss isn't actually a loss, but you just have to trust in the Lord. Right? Verse 3 says, "And he humbled thee." Right? So it's all about to prove if we are humble. Also to prove if we are strong, to know what is in our heart. It actually makes us bear. These exercises will make us bear to see what our limits are and help us to push past those limits. Right? "And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger." So the Lord was the one that actually made them hungry, to see if they will still stick by him, to know what, as it says a verse up, to see what's in their heart. Will they call on me? Will they endure the hunger? Knowing that I will never forsake them? Or will they go on to their other gods? Will they trust in themselves, or will they turn their back? Right? "And fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not." Right? Even at the Red Sea, they didn't know a way out, but the Lord did give them a way out. Here when they were hungry, the Lord feed them with food, and they never had to plant for 40 years. Right? "Which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee to know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the living power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, doth man live." And that is it. That is the state that is true perfection. Knowing that we living by the words and the standards, the statutes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, regardless of what the situation is. And always, making that word the first priority. Giving up these daily spiritual sacrifices of, one lesson a day. Or should I say, seven lessons a week, one for each day. Because as you know, there's always you have brothers that may not be able to do one a day, but they do have time where they may do 2 today, or 2 tomorrow, or 1 today, or whatever the case is. But they're still striving and pushing, and we all know that's according to measure and spirit. But I speak as a man. I truly believe that it isn't a hard thing to do a video a day. Once the Spirit is dealing with you, just teach what you know. Teach what you understand, and if you don't understand something, then reach out to your camp heads, reach out to brothers, follow the chain of command till you get your answer, pray about it, and move towards the goal. But you must know something. You must know enough to at least can teach a lesson a day, right? Because it's all through the Spirit, right? So this just goes to show that the Lord was the one that made them hungry. The Lord was the one, he was doing it to humble them, to see what's in their heart. So these situations that will be thrown away, it's to see where you stand, to see if you stand with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai or not. Right? Now let me go to my next precept, which I think should be the final precept. Where am I going? Yeah. Let me do that. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. Right? The brother Awar also brought out the scripture. It says, And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of Yahweh, or despise not the chastening of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. And look at Yahushai, yo. Yes, Yahushai what was made bare. Yahushai get to the point where he gave up his life. And that is why the scripture also said what strive for the truth unto death. He also said that he that will save his life shall lose it, but he that will lose his life for my name's sake, same shall find life everlasting. Right? But it says despise not thou the chastening of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah Kodash, and faint not when thou art rebuked of him. Right? So let's look up the word chastening. And you'll see that it all boils down to the same thing I've been saying, the whole lesson. Right? Right, this is from the Greek padia, and the first definition states, it says the whole training and education of children which relates to the cultivation of mind and morals, and employs for this purpose now commands and admonitions, now reproof and punishment. It also includes the training and care of the body. So you see this? What's happening right now is that the Lord, with these situations, the Lord is putting you in these manifold temptations and these rebukes and reproof for the cultivation of your mind and your morals, right? And he also gives what commands and admonitions, meaning warnings, now reproof and punishment. And it also includes training and care of the body, right? So that, the brother Shapar always said to us, when you're in a situation, ask what the Lord is trying to teach me in this situation. Why does the Lord have me in this particular situation? Why is the Lord bringing up this spirit now of one video per day? Right? You have to look at it through spiritual eyes. And it may be a case where you don't meet it all the time, but strive for the mastery. Exert, as the one the definition of exercise goes into, exert yourself, right, as much as you can, and and you have to be doing it from the heart, and you have to be sincere, because if you try to do it to please men, you have already lost. But you just do, the Lord will know your heart. Just do your best to always meet that mark, and wherever you fall short, then you ask for forgiveness, you ask for mercy, and you ask for strength to overcome. Because all of this is what? To the cultivation of the mind and morals. As I stated, doing these lessons will give you knowledge to help you to overcome obstacles, the scenarios or the situations, right? The second definition says, whatever in adults also cultivates the soul, especially by correcting mistakes and curbing passions, because that is the thing, that is of the flesh. The flesh is all about passions and pleasures, But when you focus on this word, it actually keeps you in the spirit, and hardens you, right? Just like if you go through a certain period of hunger, and after a while, not eating for a certain period of time is not. Think about soldiers, They go through so much harsh training and some things that they go through, and some of them that that are battle seasoned, certain things don't affect them. They and the rookie go on a mission. The rookie asks them, hey, aren't you going to eat? And they say, no, that's fine, you can have it. And they probably tell you that this one time in this place, we had to go X days without food, and it's all right, I'm used to it. Or that's what they'll probably say, I'm used to it, because they actually they're strong, they're built up, right? It actually helps them to be hard and rough, and actually it helps them to be perfect, right? It says instruction which aims at increasing virtue. See that? It aims to increase virtue. As you go down here, it says instruction, and you see nurture. See, it says this is the Lord's way of nurturing you, But this is why you always have to put the word or the truth first. Because once you are doing what you're supposed to do in the spirit, then everything else in your life naturally falls into play. And not only that, it nurtures you to a point where you're able to function how you're supposed to function. Because the truth is not 1 second I'm in the truth and 1 second I'm in the world. It's one. You have a spiritual life, right? It's one way of life. It's your way of life. It's your holy conversation, right? So you're nurturing so that you can function as a spiritual man at all times, right? It helps you to see things spiritually at all times. So it's really a building block. It's really nurturing you, right? It's really increasing your virtue or your power, right? Now, moving on. This is there's another word that I was looking for. Right, it says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he received. Right? If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons, for what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Right? Now let's look up the word endure. Right? It says to the second definition says to remain, right? It says to preserve under misfortunes and trials, to hold fast to one's faith in the Messiah, to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. So whenever you're in those in your trials and affliction, you have to endure it bravely and calmly, despite what it is, but knowing that, look, the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is holding us. Right? It says to preserve under misfortunes and trials, and to hold fast to one's faith in a Mashiach. Right? So you don't want to be faint. You don't want to be feeble. You don't want this to cause you to turn away. That, hey, this is too hard or whatever. You have to just continue. And this is what the trial is for, to see if that's the type of person you are. If you would constantly endure, or if it's a case that you would turn away. And as it says here, to endure bravely and calmly ill treatments, to be meek, knowing that whether good or bad, the Lord, the Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, is in control. Because if you're going to endure but murmur and say, I can't do this or whatever, then you're in the wrong spirit, right? And if you scroll down here, it says figuratively to undergo. It says bear trials, have fortitude, persevere, abide, endure, patiently suffer, tarry behind. Right? So that's what it's about, building that spiritual fortitude, yo. And guess what? It says the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run it into it and is safe. So you're fortified in the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, are fortified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. This is what all these afflictions and these trials are all about. Right? So that's why it says, despise not the chastening of the Lord. Right? It says, for what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if he be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Right? And then as you go down to verse 11, it says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Was it true? It is sorrowful at times, but you just have to keep in mind that, hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai got me, or Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai got this. Keep on reminding yourself, hey, believe in the Lord, trust in the Lord, be patient, hold it, and you just pray the whole time and just wait. Right? It says, nevertheless, it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them that are exercised thereby. And see it again, the word exercised. So if you constantly exercise yourself in these chastisement, meaning that you're bearing it and you learn what you're supposed to learn, and you're enduring and going through, exerting yourself and going all the way, then you will be fine. So let's look up the word yield. We're going to look up the word peaceable fruit, and we're going to look up the word righteousness, right? So that is the word chasten. We looked up that already. It says yield it. It says to deliver, to give away for one's own profit what is one own, right? Now it goes down to say to give back or to restore, right? So whatever you seem to have lost while you were going through that persecution, whether it be your how put it, your they try to destroy your character, whether you lose, wife or house or land or people or money or whatever you lose, it will be restored, right? It says yield it the peaceable, right? It says bringing peace with peaceful, salutary, right? Salutary. Looking up the root, it says a state of national tranquility, right? Exemption from the rage and havoc of war, because this, when we're built up, this is a spirit that will actually bring us through the days to come, right? Be peace between individuals, harmony, because guess what, we'll be in harmony with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Security, safety, prosperity, felicity, meaning faithfulness, because peace and harmony make and keep things safe and prosperous. The peace of the Messiah, the Messiah's peace, the way that leads to peace, i.e. what? Salvation. Now look at the fourth and the fifth and the sixth one. It says of Christianity, meaning the believers, the tranquil state of a soul assured of its salvation through the Messiah, and so fear nothing from God, and content with its earthly lot of whatsoever sort that is. So knowing that whatever state whatever situation Yahweh Hashem Yahushai place us in, whether good or bad, we are assured of our salvation. But you have to the experience is needed, and right now I'm seeing one of the best ways to gain that experience is by doing a video a day based off the spirit that's been pushed, right? Don't know why it hit me this much where I keep on repeating it, but through the spirit I realized, hey, this is a blessing, right? And it will be challenging for some brothers at first, but you have to push. You have to give all diligence to make your calling and election sure. So speaking to myself first and foremost, right? Then the sixth definition state the blessed state of devout and upright men after death. So whether we die or whatever, once we are within the spirit, we'll be fine, right? So that is the word peace, right? Nevertheless, afterwards, it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness. Now let's look up the word righteousness, right? It says, in a broad sense, the state of him who is as he ought to be righteous, the condition acceptable to God. And that is it. We'll have the mind, or will be in a condition that is acceptable to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which would what? Give us the salvation. A says the doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of God. Perfection, Did not Yahweh say, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect? It's helping us to be in that approved or that perfect state, right? B says integrity, virtue, purity of life, rightness, correctness of thinking, feeling, and acting. This is being built up in the spirit. This is what it all leads to, but you will not get there without the exercises and the challenges that the Lord put your way for you to overcome through the knowledge and the understanding of these scriptures, right? In a narrow sense, justice or virtue which gives each is due, right? Down here it says equity of character or act, justification, righteousness. So this is what it will lead us to a righteous spirit. This is what will lead us to a perfect spirit, right? Verse 12 says, wherefore lift up the hands that hang down and the feeble knees. Straighten up and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. And we have to just pray for that spirit, We just have to pray for that spirit. At this point, I think the point has been made. I really hope that this was edifying. Once we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.